Over the past several years, Silicon Valley-based Jordan Redner has purchased 20 solar panels for his home. But partly due to the needs of his electric car, he's about to install 14 more.
It helps me offset anything that the utility company is generating, and I know that it's very, it's clean for the environment, so I like the idea of being carbon neutral.
Redner estimates he'll break even on his $24,000 investment in about 6 years. And just look over his shoulder, and it's easy to see that many of his California neighbors also feel it's worth the investment.
It's nice to know that in the end, in another 5 years or so, when the investment's paid for, that you're going to get free electricity as long as you're going to be in that the same house, which I plan to. So it's probably getting cheaper from my perspective, including installation and all that. So I really haven't seen it so far, any increases.
Due to the solar tariffs, Goldman Sachs estimates costs will go up around 3 to 7% for residential and utility scale operations. But customers may not notice because solar prices have been decreasing by about 10% a year. Another reason the impact of the solar tariff has been lighter than expected is due to an exemption. U.S. President Donald Trump made the decision to allow the first 2.5 gigawatts of imported solar cells to be tariff-free.
Before the tariff hit, it was well known by the industry that this was coming down the pike. And so we have 160 plus partners in 30 states. Most of those partners started buying a lot of hardware such that they could use that hardware through the course of this year without having the tariff applied. So actually the administration came in support of solar, and that allows a good bit of internationally made hardware to be brought into the country.
Brian Bursick is the founder of Wonder Capital, a technology-enabled lending platform for solar projects. Although prices have barely been impacted, the waiting period of several months to find out what the Trump administration was going to do did impact jobs.
I think it was the worst possible outcome for jobs, because it was significant enough to slow down some of this growth in the installation space. We have more than 250,000 people employed in solar these days, and most of them are putting up the panels. And so there were only less than 25,000 manufacturing jobs in the U.S. in solar. And so this pricing actually hurts the installation, at least the growth of installation. And these are generally relatively high-paying blue-collar jobs.
Bursick also says the tariffs simply weren't big enough to improve the competitiveness of U.S. solar manufacturers, even though he believes a bigger tariff would have been a bad idea.